Mhm. Hello, hello, my lovely, lovely audience. Anyway, welcome to another video. Give me a moment. My cat's in my cupboard again. Anyway, welcome to what if Tanjiro, yes, Tanjiro Kamado, met Muzan instead of Giyu. Well, I'm deciding between that name and what if what if Tanjiro, you know, what if Tanjiro showed Muzan where the blue spiders lilies are? Because presumably, considering that Yorichi and Tanjiro's ancestors were close friends, and the blue spider lily typically grows on Yorichi's wife's grave, you would assume that this information they would know. Yeah, I'm going off of that for this what if. Anyway, so then, let's get into it. Young Tanjiro, every year, his family would take him to, well, a little alcove, where the blue spider lilies grow. Apparently, they are extremely rare flowers that just are absolutely stunning. But you can't eat them. Supposedly, they're poisonous. Supposedly. Anyway, so in this what if, Muzan would wear cologne. Yes, yes, the king of demons walking around with Axe body spray. That would be hilarious. But yes, he would wear cologne when he attacks Tanjiro's family, and so thus he would smell different. Tanjiro would notice the difference between Axe body spray and Muzan. So then, in this what if, Tanjiro's running, carrying his sister. He falls, blah blah blah, she attacks him. But he manages to calm her down with her crying and shrinking. Give me a moment. Time skip. About a month. Tanjiro never meets Giyu. Giyu is just a few minutes late after Tanjiro leaves. Anyway, yes. And whilst Tanjiro's just sorta, doing the yearly tradition of his family, a little bit early this year because all of them were murdered, to go visit the Blue Spider Lily alcove, he would meet a man in a suit and a white hat who looks a lot like Michael Jackson. He doesn't even know who that is. The name just comes into his brain upon seeing him. He would get weird vibes from the man, but nonetheless, Tanjiro, being the nice fella that he is, would go talk to him. Hello there, wildly dressed fellow. What are you doing in a forest this fine hour? The man would turn before sighing. Hello, I know it may look strange that I'm out here, but I'm actually looking for something. Would you happen to be of any assistance? Yeah, what are you looking for? Oh, yes, I am looking for a particular flower. It's blue, it glows, and it, is said to be poisonous, but I, a medical researcher, want to see if we can maybe make a few medicines from it, like how we make medicines from snake venom. Tanjiro would pause for a second before thinking. Then he would snap his fingers before saying, "Oh, yeah, you're probably looking for the blue spider lily, right?" The man would nod. Yes, do you know where it is? Yeah, yeah. Tanjiro would nod very quickly before showing the man the way. On the way, he would enlighten him about his family's tradition and how they were recently eaten. You know, Muzan would think to himself a little bit about, he would think, oh, whoops, almost killed my only way to get the flower, but that's good. He would just think to himself that before, the two of them would climb through a little crevice, and then, boom. Like an entire hidden alcove. Perfect conditions for blue spider lily to grow. Muzan, seeing this, would tear up a bit. Give me a moment. Tanjiro, noticing this, would say, "Yeah, I know, it's absolutely stunning, isn't it?" Muzan would say, "I've been looking for this all my life." You, you would get on one knee, pick Tanjiro up, and say in a completely straight voice with like tears in his eyes, he would say, "I am going to protect you, I am going to adopt you, and I will look after you and your sister for the rest of my eternal existence on this earth." Tanjiro would be confused, like, "Eh? What do you mean?" Muzan would then hug him before saying, "I have been looking for this my entire life. Thank you so much." Like, Muzan would burst into tears. "I've been looking for this all my days." Tanjiro, just still being confused, would pat him on the back. Skip about a few hours. Muzan's alerted every upper moon to return to the Infinity Castle. They're all kneeling. For some reason, there's this weird child and his sister sitting next to Muzan and is like standing next to Muzan whilst he sits on his throne. As Muzan would say, "As you all know, I, for the past hundreds of years, have been asking, no, demanding that you come up with the blue spider lily's location. And all of you, every single last one of you, has not found it for me. You fucking disappointments." Every upper moon would quiver at that. He just gets really pissed off when he says that last bit. Luckily for me, I found someone who's actually competent. Tanjiro Kamado. I am adopting him, and if any of you try some shit, I will personally stick you out in the sun to die. Everyone would once again wince at that, before Muzan would get up and say, "He brought me to the blue spider lily just out of his own free will. I didn't threaten him, I didn't do anything." Give me a moment. Hi, I am back. Anyway, yeah. So, Muzan would just say, "Thanks to Tanjiro Kamado, I have found the blue spider lily. Yeah, the thing that makes me basically damn near mortal. The thing that will make me immune to the sun." So, he just takes out the flower, eats it in front of everybody, and then throws it on the ground before just going, "Hee hee." I could not help myself but make that joke. Michael Jackson, hee hee. As a weird sense of familiarity would cross Tanjiro's mind as the image of strange-looking man with a white hat going moonwalking on a stage would just play in his mind. If you don't get the joke, then I don't know where you've been for the last 40 years. Anyway, yeah, Muzan would just walk up to Tanjiro, shove his finger in his head, and bada bing bada boom. Demon Tanjiro. DT. Like ET, but weird. It also gave Nezuko a dose of the blood, so she's immune to the sun, just like that. And he would look at the upper moons before saying, yeah, y'all ain't getting any for the next 100 years. There would be a lot of protest, but he would say, Muzan would say, bitch, y'all, I gave y'all like over 800 years to find this flower. None of you did. But Tanjiro over there took like 5 minutes to show me where like an entire alcove of the stuff is. So I don't want to hear any complaints. I'm going tanning. He just walks out the Infinity Castle. He just leaves. He dips. As Kogashibo would say, did he really miss tanning that much? Before Daki would say, everyone here does realize that tanning is technically burning your skin, so Muzan won't be able to tan because his regeneration will stop it. Does anyone want to tell him, or Akaza would just go, nah, let him figure it out on his own. Anyway, I want to meet the new guy. No! Daki would immediately protest, saying, no, I want to meet him first. He looks cute. And his sister is absolutely gorgeous. Akaza would just thumbs up before saying, agreed. Doma would just walk forwards and pull Akaza away. He would just pull him away. Overprotective Doma mode activates. I forgot his name, but it's the guy with eyes where his mouth should be and mouths where his eyes should be. You know, Mr. My entire body is covered in baby hands. And or pot man, if you prefer that. Not weed, like actual pots. Just hop up to Tanjiro before saying, they're all retarded, you know. I hope you're not an idiot. Otherwise I will chop off your head. Once he says that sentence, like he just gets a massive feeling of, oh, I'm in danger. Joke, that was a joke. And the feeling goes away. You would breathe a sigh of relief and panic. Master's always watching. He's always listening. Tanjiro would just blink at him before saying, I don't understand why you fear Muzan so much. Potman and like the entire Infinity Castle would go quiet, staring at Tanjiro. Before, like, Gaitaro would just rip himself out of his sister before saying, you just said his name. Tanjiro would blink again before asking, what's wrong with saying Muzan's name? Muzan Kibutsuchi. Everyone would stare at him. Before, like, Kogashibo would say, damn, even I can't say his name without getting killed. Good grief. Gaitaro would pitch in before saying, I'm pretty sure it's because, like, Muzan's been searching for that damned flower for, like, 2,000 years at this point. Yeah, he must be very happy with the Kamados over there. Not Yorichi, Kokoshiba would just think to himself, why does that name sound familiar? And then just a flash of his brother would just pop into his brain, as he would go, oh, oh, sweet fuck, no. Like, everyone is fawning over how cute Nezuko is. Well, Daki and Gaitaro. And also Doma. He's kind of upset that he can't eat her. Whilst Tanjiro's just in the background. Anyway, skip like 2 or so. Skip about a month. Tanjiro would walk up to Muzan and just ask, Muzan? Muzan would look at him before saying, please call me father. Tanjiro would pause before asking again, father, I've noticed that the upper moons here seem to eat humans raw. Muzan would breathe a sigh of relief, thinking, oh, okay. Tanjiro, yeah, he is not... Okay, whew. Good thing I made him, like, apathetic. That would be what Muzan would think before Tanjiro would speak again. Can I cook for them? Muzan would pause. Cook, he would say with a glance. Tanjiro would say again, yes, I would like to cook something more proper. I have this theory that if something's marinated in human blood, we can eat it. Muzan would think for a few moments, then thinking back to stir-fried chicken, and then saying, you know what, give it a shot. So Tanjiro would ask for a area with pots, pans, and so on and so forth from Nakame. She would do it. He would cook something. Well, he would leave the Infinity Castle. Broad daylight, wearing a mask to kind of hide. Less. Just kind of walking around as a blonde-haired boy would just hear a horrific sound coming from the person behind him as he's like clinging to this woman, as he would yell, save me, save me, yeah, save me. Please, I'll do anything. I'll leave you alone for 10 years if you save me from that guy. Please. He's like on his knees and, the woman's just staring at him like, okay, he's wielding a katana, so if the guy in the strange mask can scare him, I ain't standing a chance. And she would go running for the hills. Like, Zenitsu's on his knees, going, wait, no, save me from him. Tanjiro would just walk up to him as, like, Zenitsu would back up, but scooching, saying, I'm a professional demon slayer. I will slay you, demon, if you don't back off. Wait, you're in the sun. You're in the sun! Oh, shit! Tanjiro's just blankly staring at him before, like, taking off his mask and asking, first of all, who are you? Second of all, who's that woman? Third of all, what's wrong with me being in the sun? That woman was a lady I was gonna ask out for a date, and I'm Zenitsu, and the demons aren't supposed to be out in the sun. It's supposed to kill them. It's supposed to kill them. Okay, not anymore, I guess. Would just be what Tanjiro responds with. Oh, that's bad. That's bad, because if the demons can go in the sun, that means Muzan can go in the sun. Oh no, we're so doomed. He would just pat him on the head before saying, uh, I don't know what your issue is with me. I don't know how you knew what I am. I'm just looking for some well, not cooked, some place I can buy raw chicken, because I'm planning on experimenting with something. But what are you planning on experimenting on? Me? Tanjiro would just stare at him before saying, What? What? No! No, of course not. I'm not. No. Nah. Zenitsu would breathe a sigh of relief before asking, What do you plan on experimenting on then? Tanjiro would respond with, yes, I am searching for chicken, because apparently, father likes cooked chickens, but hasn't been able to eat them because of the whole demon thing. So I wanted to see if I could marinate some regular food in human blood and what kind of effect it would have. Zenitsu would nod very quickly before thinking to himself, okay, this could lower, total casualties if demons could just marinate their food in human blood. So, Zenitsu would show him to the nearest, chicken stand. Well, chicken seller. Butchery. Nearest butchery. They would purchase a chicken, and Tanjiro would, quickly befriend Zenitsu. They are talking, and Zenitsu feels good. Safe. Well, as safe as you can be at around, well, what is quite literally an abomination. Zenitsu has no idea what Tanjiro is capable of. So that, chatting is, Zenitsu's Kasugai Crow is going. Well, not Kasugai Crow, more so Kasugai Sparrow is going apeshit. Would you shut up for 5 minutes? It's... Bird, I'm talking here. Tanjiro would respond with, Actually, isn't your job to kill demons? That bird's given the exact location of a demon right now. Zenitsu would just sort of pause for a moment before looking at Tanjiro. You understand the bird? Tanjiro would nod. Oh, thank goodness, I thought they gave me a defective one. Turns out I'm just an idiot. Life is meaningless. Uh-huh. Well, I'm gonna go home. Hope to see you again. You wanna meet somewhere if you survive? Zenitsu would agree, suggesting a nearby udon stand, in 2 days. No, a nearby udon stand in a day. Tanjiro would nod before just disappearing into the Infinity Castle. as he would just be happy that he made a friend and test his whole chicken theory. Turns out, yes, it is correct. The upper moons can't eat it. He tried it on himself. Anyway, he would prepare fuck a ton of a feast for the upper moons before sharing his discovery. Like, upon hearing this, Stocky's already stuffing her face. Like, I missed ramen so much. She is just consuming it. Akaza would look at him before saying, is mine, does it have girl's blood in it? Tanjiro would, look at him and ask, do you have a preference? Akaza would cross his arms before saying, I don't eat women whatsoever, not even a drop of their blood. Tanjiro would say, oh, well, I didn't use any women's blood in that. If anyone has a preference, tell me so I can make the food better for any one of you. Doma would raise his hand before saying, I prefer women, if you wouldn't mind. Tanjiro would just sort of trade bowls with him before sitting right next to Muzan and just eating. Muzan is quite happy at the fact that he can finally have a rotisserie chicken. Nezuko's having a bowl of ramen. Udon. Anyway, yeah, skip forward a day. Zenitsu and Tanjiro have meeting up again. Apparently, Zenitsu met this weird boar-headed guy, and they had to work together to defeat a demon. He complimented him once, and he won't leave Zenitsu alone. Once he finishes with his whole story of the events, a particular boar-headed wearing man would charge apeshitly. Oh, did I forget to mention that there was a time skip? Yeah, there was a time skip, yeah, there was a time skip. About 2 years. Same as canon to get timelines to match up. Yeah, there was a time skip. You can choose where. Yeah. Yeah. I just realized the mistake, so I'm just gonna say this now. The 1 month time skip is actually a 2-year time skip. Okay? Okay. If anyone's mad at me in the comments, that's fine. I made a mistake. Yeah. A particular boar-headed individual would jump out of a bush screaming something about growing stronger and whatever. Within the time it takes Zenitsu to blink, Tanjiro's sitting on a mangled but still alive Inosuke. His bones are absolutely shattered, and he was forcibly contorted into a seat. As, Inosuke's bones would give way and he would collapse on the ground. Tanjiro sitting on top of him. He would pat him on the head before saying, you're actually very flexible. Usually a person would die if I did this. So, good job on you. That's all Inosuke would hear as his vision would go to black. Zenitsu was staring at Tanjiro in horror before Tanjiro would say, what? I told you who I am. I think you could have expected this. How many people have you eaten so far? Zenitsu would ask curiously. Tanjiro would respond with, uh, unless you count marinating ramen in, human blood, none. And how old are you? Insert Tanjiro's canon age, like 16. Yeah, that's the canon age. Because Nezuko's 14 in canon, so yeah, 16. Do you mean to say 160? Zenitsu would say before Tanjiro would shake his head and say, nope, 16. Zenitsu would just kind of pass out. Oh. Well, Inosuke would wake up, about a few hours later. His body feels weirdly better. His bones are at least in place. As the exact demon that he tried to kill is just kind of sat there on a bench, eating red udon. He presumes it's veins, but is not sure. You would notice that Zenitsu just sort of passed out next to him. As he would get up, Tanjiro would turn before waving, saying, "Hey, you're awake! Isn't that great? You lasted actually longer than most people. Good job on you." Inosuke would pause before saying, "I lost within the time it took me to blink. I did not do good. Oh, my legs! They hate me! Ah!" That was way too much fun for me to do. Tanjiro would shake his head before saying, "Look, I am pretty strong as demons go. So, yeah, you did very well. If you were an average person, you would have exploded within, the first grab. Your leg would have been ripped off, and the entire udon stand next to me would have been turned into a bloody mess. So, you actually did fantastic." Inosuke gets a much-needed confidence boost. Flowers would appear around his head. Zenitsu would wake up. Wake up screaming like, "Ah, Hasi Mama!" Oh, it was just a dream. It was... Whew! Whew! Tanjiro would tilt his head before asking, "What's with the heavy breathing?" Oh, yeah. I had a nightmare. You know, you know how those things go. Tanjiro would pause a second before going, "Oh, yeah, nightmares. I forgot about those. I don't exactly sleep anymore. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Are you okay? Are you okay?" Zenitsu would nod. "Yeah, just a dream about you in like 1,000 years." Tanjiro would pause before asking, "What's wrong with me in 1,000 years?" Zenitsu would blink, saying, "Oh, did I say that out loud? Uh, just how you broke every bone in Inosuke's body over there within the time it took me to blink, and turned him into a chair. You know, it's kind of terrifying to think where you'll be at in 1,000 years with 1,000 years combat experience and physical strength training and, people eating." Tanjiro would say, "I don't particularly like eating people. I mostly just take blood from them and cook food with it." Zenitsu would pause for a few seconds before staring at him. You cook food using human blood. Tanjiro would nod before saying, it actually makes it edible. Ah, yeah, you told me about that. Zenitsu would pass out again. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed. This is not the 200 sub special. I'm still at 197 at the recording of this video. Anyway, goodbye. Hope to see you next time, and bye-bye.